on the baseline, going one-on-one. Got it done, and the chance for a three-point play.
Pulls up for a jumper, got it!
Look out. Oh, and one! A one-handed rim shaker.
Oh my goodness!
And inside, how about it?
Love that.
How about it? Free ball, good.
What a fake on Wick. Furious Giant!
Tonight in Washington, D.C., we're on the edge of history while the AU Eagles host the Lafayette Leopards, with both teams battling for a home game in the Patriot League quarterfinals. Good evening, everyone. Dan Lang alongside Jimmy Patsos, and to be joined in just a few minutes by Penny Commit. And Jimmy, when you take a look at tonight's game, you talk about history. Saeed Nelson 2 points away from becoming the all-time scorer here in AU's history.
Yeah, the past Boo Bowers, who played for Gary Williams. Remember, Ed Sloan, Nickens, these guys are great players. Frank Ross, who now works for the Wizards. Andre Ingram, Kermit Washington. You think, and that's what Saeed's got to look at. You think about the names you passed and what great players and people they were in the basketball world. What a tremendous feat. But I also know he wants to win tonight.
Indeed, the game is a very important one. Let's jump into our players to watch, and of course, no shock for the Eagles. You're going to go with Saeed.
You know, he's such a great driver of the basketball. He gets into the paint. He does what it takes to win. I love that he doesn't settle for jumpers, and he makes his team better. But a huge game. Colgate secured #1. American played great at Boston University, just came up a little short. And now this is a big game for standings, and this could decide third place, a home game, a little easier route to the finals. And this is a big game. And Fran O'Hanlon and the Lafayette Leopards, who don't have Jaworski, but are ready to come in here, and third place is on the line, and that is really big in these one-bid leagues.
Indeed, and let's check out your player to watch for the Leopards, and that's a freshman coming off 21 points, Leo O'Boyle.
Yeah, O'Boyle's great. He played at Scranton Prep. For those of you who've heard of Scranton Prep, that's what Jerry McNamara played. A lot of great players have come out of there. He had 21 points against Loyola. We're hoping he's like any freshman, up and down, has a bad game today, but you have to keep him contained, kind of a forward that can shoot it. And Fran O'Hanlon's done a lot of good things with Jaworski, his best player, his scoring point guard out, but they only lost to Loyola by 2. Like I said, everyone tonight, there's 2 games left, Dan. You've been in this league longer than I have. There's a lot of movement that it could occur, and when you have a home court advantage by being the 1 through 4 seed, that is a really big thing.
Indeed, and let's check in for more on that with the third member of our crew, Penny Commit, who's talking about the Eagles with super focus on both the game and their teammate, Saeed Nelson.
Yes, Dan, you're absolutely right, and that's why the boys said to me that they're fighting so hard today. Specifically, Mark Gasparini said that, you know, he's a senior, so is Saeed, so this win would mean so much to them because it's just another chance they get to play on their home court. And when your time with your college team is starting to fade away, you have to hold on to every single opportunity you get to do that. Also, it's no clue that the Eagles play a lot better when they're at their home court, so that also really helped them going forward with tournament play. So hopefully they get that win today. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Penny. And both teams are coming off losses with a lot at stake with the spotlight on history. Stay tuned. Starting lineups and tip coming your way next. Welcome back inside Bender Arena. Let's get you the starting lineups for tonight's game, brought to you by the American University Athletics Eagles Club. First for the Eagles, AU sitting with an overall record 14-13, sitting in conference at 10-6. There you see the lineup is set by the head coach, Mike Brennan, of course led by the senior Saeed Nelson, one of the most versatile players in the country. We'll get more into that as the broadcast unfolds. 2 points away from becoming the all-time leading scorer here at American University. Let's take a look at what the Leopards have in their starting lineup. Lafayette 17-10 overall, in conference 9-7. Fran O'Hanlon, 25 years as the head coach of the Leopards, and there you see their starting lineup. Leo O'Boyle, Jimmy's player to watch. Also, Neil Quinn is a guy that's been playing really well of late. A 7-foot freshman, is a little bit further along than maybe they thought he would be. There you see him at number 45. So those are your starting lineups, brought to you by the Eagles Club. Join the Eagles Club and make an immediate impact in the lives of more than 260 student athletes on a daily basis. Eagles Club members take great pride in supporting their teams and their quest for success. Visit aueagles.com/Eagles Club to learn more and to get involved. So, Jimmy, a lot at stake today. We hit on it. There you see the guy that is the spotlight of the game. Not just tonight, he has been all year, but especially tonight with what's at stake and a special evening set for him.
Yeah, these are always tough, like senior nights, when you're, whether it's Siena or Loyola or, of course, Maryland. the senior nights when someone's going to break a record. You know, Juan Dixon's going to get 2,000 points. We've had different records. Used to be the big 1,000-point club, but becoming the school's all-time leading scorer is an epic accomplishment. But this is a huge game. And Fran O'Hanlon's going to have the Lafayette team ready to battle. They battled. Jaworski's out. Their best player, leading scorer, point guard's out, but it hasn't slowed down Lafayette, who had a great start. And this is going to be a big, important game for American U to gain third place.
Indeed, and both teams are coming off losses. Loyola beat Lafayette last game. BU topped the Eagles last game up there in Beantown. Game the Eagles had a big double-digit lead in the first half, couldn't hold it, ended up losing the contest by 4. Quick pass off. Here's Quinn, the 7-foot freshman, as he drives, now passes out. This is going to be Hastings, who puts up a long-range shot and is able to make it. He's shooting just 17% from beyond the arc, but he sticks that one, and the Leopards have the lead here.
That was a big screen. That's 45 driving and kicking to 44, who's the 4-man. And that is...
Here's Saeed Nelson as he drives, dishes off, and that's going to be knocked away as Gasparini goes up. A little stick-to-itiveness there for the big guy, and he's able to come away with the points.
But that was Dylan Hastings who made the shot. That's a 5-man dishing to a 4-man. That's tough for bigs to guard if that's what Lafayette's going to have a steady diet of. And, you know, Leo O'Boyle's about 6'7", too. He's a freshman from Scranton Prep, like I mentioned, rich history in that program. Big rebound by Connor Nelson. I like the guards getting because this Lafayette team's a little bigger in person than I thought they were on tape.
Indeed. Here's Saeed Nelson, the senior. He'll take the shot, able to drain it, and there it is. Saeed Nelson, a shot for the ages that makes him an all-timer here at AU. Now tops on the all-time scoring list as an Eagle. He's got 2,057 points, passing Boobauer's mark that had stood for 39 years. At the other end, an answer for Leo O'Boyle, a three-pointer.
And I'm really glad that Saeed kind of got that out of the way early because there's a ball game to be played, a very important one, but what an accomplishment. I was talking to Dave Beerworth, the assistant AD, who's been here for a long time with Jeff Jones on the way through. Probably going to honor Saeed really before the next game. They're hoping to get Boo Bowers out here, which would be a great accomplishment to have him present while Saeed breaks the record.
Nice bounce there for Connor Nelson. Game here knotted up at 6 apiece. But yeah, it's one of those things that, we talked about how important the game itself is. So as a coach, you're happy to see the Saeed mark get out of the way here early?
Yeah, I want to get it out of the way early. And I also like that you're kind of going to have the, after the game, of course, is a big moment, but kind of a celebratory thing because American U should have a home game for the playoffs. And you can have a proper before the game ceremony and have everyone involved and know. And it's hard to plan those things. But right now, Lafayette's shooting at a high clip. I think they've made their first 3 shots, which makes me concerned about, and it's coming from different people. Like I said, it's O'Boyle who kind of has a little Larry Bird 3-man, 4-man skill. You mentioned how Quinn has been a 7-footer that's come across, faster than I thought. And 44, Dylan Hastings, who another Pennsylvania kid that hits the 3, a 6'10" kid that makes the 3.
Beckton feeds out. Here's Connor Nelson, puts up the 3. That's no good. And Quinn able to get the rebound. Yeah, Quinn is somebody that Fran O'Hanlon thinks, has really matured a little bit quicker maybe than they thought that he would. And therefore he's getting a lot of quality minutes here in the lineup down the stretch. Of course, all that made because of Jaworski and the fact that he's been out for a number of games with torn ACLs. And here you see Nelson to Nelson and Saeed able to drain it and set the record, a record that had stood here at AU for 39 years. 39
years. And that, by the way, that was, Boo Bowers scored those points under Gary Williams with, Mark Nickens and Ed Sloan, who are really good players also. And they went to 2 NITs. That's back when the NCAA, I believe, only took 48 or 32. And the NIT was a really, really big, again, it's still a big accomplishment. It was a huge accomplishment back then. But I like Nelson that he made it with a 2 because he's not as much, he doesn't fire threes. Yeah. He's a very efficient player, old school kind of player, but not afraid to do it in the paint, and he gets the old-fashioned foul line jumper. Great pass.
Nelson, the Connor version, looking over to Saeed with 5 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Gasparini, turnaround shot. The big guy can't get it to go, and the rebound there comes down for Hastings.
Good look by Gasparini, too. I like that. Just take the jump hook. He's made 1. You want to shoot 50%.
At the other end, shot too strong there for Stout. Jameer Harris.
Yep, good rebound by Jameer. And I think with his size, if the guards can rebound, then you can go and run on these guys. From the looks of it, after a few 4 minutes here, I think that American looks a little quicker. They got Stacy at the 4 is a good matchup for him. Jameer can take him off the bounce or shoot threes. Connor does a little of everything. And now they got Connor playing the point because they want to get Saeed off the ball a little bit. And I like that. You know, gives him a little different look. You got to pick that up. Yeah, you want to grab that ball hard and fast.
Indeed. Here's Saeed. The senior puts up the fadeaway shot, rattles around, no good. Pushing the pace, the Leopards. They can do that. They can move it along, and there the runner's good for E.J. Stevens.
E.J. Stevens, my inside sources. I got a few sources at Loyola Naver, and they think Stevens is kind of the X factor. You know, don't let him get going. He's a streaky scorer, streaky shooter. You know, I like O'Boyle because he's a young guy at 21, but a lot of people are like Stevens. You know, if he gets 20, that's going to be a problem for the Eagles.
Here's a shot that's up. That's no good. Connor Nelson able to grab it. So the Eagles down by 4 here to the Leopards.
I like it's good seeing Connor and Harris rebound. I like when the guards rebound. Good pass. Once again, go right back to it and just score on him. Yeah, you're better than him.
Gasparini, though, unable to get that one to fall. First time these teams met was a 12-point win for the Leopards up there in Easton, PA. 82-70 over AU.
You know, and Fran O'Hanlon's a great coach. He's from the Philadelphia coaching tree. Fran O'Hanlon, Herb McGee, and all those guys. He's been up in. He's a Villanova, LaSalle descendant, John Chaney, all those people. Fran O'Hanlon's been up there 25 years. It's a tough place to go up and play.
Stevens puts up the shot right into the hands of Gasparini.
Yeah, this is where if I'm American, I might want to run like Saeed's going to do right there. It's
Nelson, though, feeds out. Staying with it, now flips it over. Eagles with a lot of ball movements. Becton now threading the needle into Gasparini, goes up, unable to get that one to go. So Gasparini, it's been a tough early start for Mark. At the other end, able to make that count as Perry, and he draws a foul.
And there's Tyrone Perry, a sophomore, Florida. He's a Florida kid, going to drive it right down the lane. And unfortunately, that's where the missed layup by your big man turns into a layup by their guard streaking down. That's what Gasparini's got to finish.
And here the announcement is in the arena about Saeed passing Boobauer's record. Nice crowd in attendance here tonight. We'll take a timeout. Leopards lead the Eagles 12-6 here early in the game. For the latest Patriot League news and information, follow the official league account on Twitter @Patriot League. And there you see Saeed Nelson. Saeed, the only D1 men's player with 2,000 points, 500 rebounds, 500 assists. That shot is up from Perry, unable to make it a three-point play. Who used to?
Miss free throws, and then they get a rebound.
Jarrett turning around. That's going to be an offensive call. Lucas Jarrett, a senior, has toughness, defensive pressure, but unable to make his offense count there. And there you see Coach Brennan in his 7th season here at AU. Brought Saeed Nelson in here to this Eagles program. Saeed stayed here at American University for his entire 4 years.
Which, by the way, is a rarity these days because guys, when they have early success, will try to leave, but it's so great that he stayed.
And there you see Saeed Nelson able to get the putback and add to it, so it's now just a 4-point lead for Lafayette. Cherry, that shot is up, no good. Nelson gets the rebound.
And here's where I like him in transition. Just go right to the basket. Yep, exactly. That's 2.
So Nelson making that one count. Now pulling the Eagles to within just 2. So he's really a guy we have talked ad nauseum about how much he does. And there he steals the ball away, takes it the other way, lays it off the glass and in. And now we're all knotted up at 12 apiece.
Just making sure I got my tweet out of Saeed Nelson's all-timer. And what a nice student section who gave him a great standing on. They had a great video board presentation. So in this day and age, I had to
knocked away by Connor Nelson as he puts it in off the glass. So a nice run here for the Eagles.
big credit to Coach Brennan. See, Saeed got his points. Everybody's a little jacked up. Lafayette knows this is a big game. Didn't panic. Down 8, down 4 points. Comes out of the timeout. Now he's up 2. I like the pace. Great crowd. Chant defense. And I like the pace. I think the pace favors American. That has to be a charge.
And there's an offensive call as Cherry got aggressive on YY. Yeljep in there for the Eagles.
Ryan Cesaro making that call. And it's funny because I do the Wizards too. And it's great when big men take charges like that. No, Mo Wagner's leading the NBA in charges right down the street. And I think big guys kind of watch big guys. And so
love what Mo Wagner does. He's a fun guy to watch.
Fun guy to watch. Yeah. Really young. And there's YY saying, hey, I'll take a charge too.
Marvin Bragg has also checked in for the Eagles.
Good to see our friend from Los Angeles playing. I remember he got hurt early. And I didn't really like that call, but I guess, well, they got one right and one wrong, so they're about par for the course today. No, Dwayne Gladden's a good referee. He used to do the ACC. Really good crew, Ken Clark and Ryan.
Eagles.
You just don't want to do anything. You have a lot of momentum going if you're YY. Just play straight up because you have good momentum.
And the Eagles on a bit of a run, and therefore they're up 2 on the Leopards, 14-12. How about the Eagles on a bit of a run, as I said, going to break. They're on an 8-0 run, and therefore the Eagles right now enjoying a 14-12 lead. But that run, thanks to the Nelsons, Connor and Saeed. There you see him able to get that one off the glass and then put it back in himself. Saw a little bit of Saeed rebounding, turning it into points. You see it, Steele able to turn it into points. Doing a little bit of everything here early is Saeed Nelson. There you see the steal as he grabs it. Now there's a whistle as tumbling down to the floor there. A little bit slow to get up. Not sure who that is. That's Jameer Harris. Winches is facing pain a little bit. Penny's got something. What do you have, Penny?
Well, over in the huddle as the AU athletics trainer was wiping what appeared to be blood off of YY's pants, I think from a cut on his arm. But while he was doing that, Coach Brennan was encouraging YY to be a little bit more aggressive in the paint on defense, which makes perfect sense because lately he's been having some really good defensive practices. So I think they're going to rely on him a little bit on that end. Back to you guys.
Yeah,
thanks, Penny, as that ends up out.
Bragg can help him, Penny. I think that Marvin Bragg can help them there. I always liked him early in the year. He's a Los Angeles kid that can play a little of 3-4. In the world today we live in, Dan, where everybody switches everything, I think Marvin, because if he switches onto a really big, he's big enough to handle that.
2-point lead for the Eagles. Saeed's out there, Marvin Bragg, Stacey Becton, Jameer, and YY.
And you know this team better than I do, Dan, over the history of the course. Marvin Bragg has played a fairly important role at times in this program, correct?
Wide open is Jameer Harris, and he sinks a 3. Big shot there from Jameer.
I love
Eagles
Jameer
now
Harris
up 5.
I love him off the catch.
And he was wide open.
He was, and remember the last game you and I, Dan, did, he had 4 in the second half to beat Navy, 4 threes.
Yeah, he can get hot. Driving the paint here, navigating his way. Shots up and no good there for Stevens.
That's another Marvin Bragg. He played good defense without fouling and got the rebound.
Bragg now working it over to Becton. Saeed
Nice move.
drives. Look at that. He knew what he had, took a little time, stutter step, got the bucket.
No, that's like postman footwork.
Right.
Like that's for a guard. I've said it since I've gotten here. He impresses me with his work in the paint. That's like great footwork for a guard.
Already double digits for Saeed. Talk about a man on a mission. 20-plus points in his last 5 games. Looking to do that again here tonight. That shot too strong from Stevens.
Good defense. You saw Harris go over the top of that screen. In other words, instead of switching and taking the easy way, it went over the top. Marvin helped, got back. Bragg helped and got back. Then you don't have to switch. Missed 3, team rebounding. Stacey Becton playing a little bit of point there. They're posting up Saeed. I like Stacey's shot right there. And that's
from the elbow.
Because I liked it.
He heard you.
Well, he drove.
It was right as you said you liked that shot. He took it.
You know, driving left, I like to pull up. Driving right with your strong hand, you can go all the way to the basket.
At one point, the Leopards had a 12-6 lead, so the Eagles have been on a big run here to open up a 21-12 game, as that shot is up and off the mark, tipped by YY, and it'll be Eagles basketball again.
Stacey had to go over the top. Bragg helped him out on defense, and there goes Saeed with a good pass. Now, see, I like Marvin passing that up. Jameer off the catch, tough deep. That's a deep 3. But, you know, you made the first. You're feeling a little heat check.
A little too
That's
deep
okay.
for you?
A little heat check. A little heat check. That's all right.
So there's a timeout.
You trip over that, I'm going to try.
Yeah. Want to remind you weekly throughout the remainder of the season and throughout the playoffs on AUEagles.com and via AU Men's Basketball Facebook and Twitter pages. Tune into the AU Hoop Talk Show with Coach Brennan, presented by Launchbox Golf, for special guests and the inside scoop on the team from Coach himself, plus all the latest news, features, previews, and recaps on the Eagles. Select shows will also air on NBC Sports Washington. 21-12, Eagles have the lead on the Leopards here in a really important game for both teams. You see Colgate has grabbed the #1 spot leading into the Patriot League tournament. BU has grabbed the 2nd spot, so you have American Army and Lafayette in the mix for the next 2 spots, which are huge to be able to host a quarterfinal game.
Yeah, host a quarterfinal. We all know 7 through 10, they have to play an extra game. The math, it's the NFL. You have to play that first round. Your chances decrease. You have to play the 4th game instead of the 3rd. The good news is Americans out of there. You want the home set, then you want to host the 16th instead of the 3rd. That's a really good play by Lafayette.
Quinn looking to find O'Boyle, but he was unable to get it to go. Nice defense again for AU.
Yeah, Bragg with another rebound. He's giving him some solid minutes, and he gives him some size. O'Boyle, good play out of the timeout. He just rushed it. Want to see Gasparini get going. I'm glad Coach Brennan went back. Really good pass. Good play by Coach Brennan. That was a little screen and roll, handoff back to the 2nd screen and roll. Connor drives it, and Gasparini. You want to see him get going. I wish he could have had that dunk to count.
So here's Ben Lebarski as he'll check in for Marvin Bragg.
Marvin Bragg, other than a couple rebounds, most of what he did is not going to show up on the stat sheet. But I'll just tell you right now as a coach, he had an excellent 4 minutes there.
There's Lebarski finding Gasparini. 10 seconds on the shot clock, and Gasparini with the extra step. So it'll be Leopards basketball. Fran O'Hanlon, 341 wins as coach of the Leopards. There you see him in the white shirt. Doesn't like to wear the blazer. He'll wear it out on the floor, but then he usually drops the blazer off during the game.
And he usually doesn't wear sneakers other than coaches versus kids. One of them wanted to know he had plantar fasciitis surgery. That's why he's wearing it. I wish we had our hand up on that 3, and that's why it went. See, Gasparini was a little bit upset about the travel down there. Then he gives up a wide open 3. And when it's from the top of the key, I can make those. You know, from the wings and the corners are different, but the top of the key with no defense, that's a tough sequence.
21-15, Eagles have the lead. Connor Nelson keeps driving, uses the glass, can't get it to go, and the rebound comes down for Stout. Connor a little upset with himself that he wasn't able to get it to go, and then he tracked the Leopard player, was trying to get the steal, wasn't able to do that either. There is going to be a call on the Leopards. That's going to be on Gasparini, and that's going to take us to a break. On the floor, we'll take it as well. 21-15, Eagles lead the Leopards, 7:40 to play in the first. 21-15, Eagles have the lead on the Leopards. 7:40 to play here in the first. Here's the big guy, Miles Cherry, feeding it out. Now it's going to be Perry, lost a footing, but able to regain it.
Yeah, Lebarski did a good job recovering there. And by the way, we have Josh Alexander into the game.
That's good. Birthday boy.
And, you know, Gasparini.
Long shot here. That's way short.
That was good defense. And that's Ben Lebarski, freshman from Florida, who he didn't give up on the play. He was kind of really came back and recovered. And then they didn't get an easy shot.
There you see Franny O, not too happy.
That's that time of year.
Indeed.
You're only happy when you win at this time of year because you're in your league play, everything's for seeding, everything's so important, and you're trying to get ready for the three wins you need in March. And like I said, that could be 4 in the Patriot League. I like that pull-up.
Stop, pop, and connect there for Saeed. He's now got 12 here tonight.
And when I say I like a lot of these shots, it's because they're under control, good 15 to 20 footers. I know the analytics guys will kill me, and I like analytics, but I like really good 2-pointers as opposed to bad 3-pointers.
Thought about launching there was Stout. Instead, more feeding. Here's Cherry with it, looking to navigate his way around. Good job there of Alexander.
Yeah, good way to go up, contest, but don't foul. You want to be physical, contest, but don't foul.
8-point lead for the Eagles, 6.5 to play here in the first. Bragg threading the needle to Nelson, and Saeed puts it up and in. Nelson, a man on a mission. 10-point lead for AU. Largest lead for the Eagles.
And there's Bragg. See, once again, Mike Brennan does a great job of teaching how to get over the screen. Most people will go under because you don't get hit, or you'll six or switch. I call switching six. That's an old Morgan Wooten term. He does a great job of teaching to go over the screen. Now you got to fly someone in the corner. They made a good extra
Perry.
pass.
Shot no good.
Ben, I wish you got that rebound. Sometimes
Jarrett did, though.
Things. Good hustle by Connor to come back and deflect that. I get nervous as a coach. Offensive rebounds lead to bad things.
Yeah.
And when they're yours, they lead to good things. When we get them, they're good. When we give them up, they're bad. But great play by Connor Nelson to get his hand in there at the last second.
Saeed directing the floor, directing where guys should be.
Great job, Jameer, taking the same route. Oh, I'm not sure about that. I thought that was just a fight for position, and neither's Coach Brennan sure about that.
So Becton whistled for his second foul of the game.
Yeah, it's funny. I was going to pick Stacey Becton out of my Daytona Beach guy that everyone knows who listens to me. I really love. I think he's just a great all-around guy. I just wasn't sure if this matchup was great for him tonight. You know, usually I pick him as my guy other than Saeed, because Saeed could be at every game. But
right.
I just wasn't sure if this matchup was great for him. There goes O'Boyle driving.
Unable to connect as he tumbles down to the floor. A little slow to get up.
He's one of those freshmen that looks like he got it. In other words, freshman, he's from Scranton Prep. I know it's a really good team, but good program. But he's kind of shot fakes and then knows how to create the contact there. You see freshmen that sometimes have the freshman blues, or some guys come right out the gate. He seems to have gotten a little better each game, and that's why having 21 against Loyola, he was my player to watch.
76% this year from the free throw line for O'Boyle. But, O'Boyle and Neil Quinn are two guys that Franny O is really happy with the way that
Hell's Kitchen to get those guys? What were they, bartending in Hell's Kitchen, those two?
Right.
And it's funny. He's not afraid to play him, Franny said. And he said they both came from really good. It's funny, Fran O'Hanlon, who has like an Irish name too. We were laughing before. And he said and you said this earlier, Dan. They've grown up. They've earned their way. And then when Jaworski
maybe a little quicker than Coach O'Hanlon thought they would.
Oh, definitely. But you had pointed it out. Now they're playing 1-3-1. You got to attack that or screen it. And you pointed out, Dan, that when Jaworski went down, maybe the light went on, and they said, "Hey, we're ready. We've been patient. Now we're going to step up." Great move by Jameer. You got to hit that, Connor, wide open.
Puts it up and drains it. Connor Nelson with his first three of the game.
Great play by Jameer. Shot fake against the 1-3 drive, because the 1-3-1, the bat's a little vulnerable. Everyone comes running over. They can't recover to the opposite wing. It's just physically the geometry doesn't work.
Long shot here for Perry. Too strong off the back end of the iron.
These are those offensive rebounds. And long threes lead to long rebounds, so they're not always the easiest ones to gather.
There's O'Boyle. That shot's no good. Off the fingertips, and there to control it is Saeed Nelson.
Yeah, and once again, Marvin Bragg will not get credit on the stat sheet. He tipped that out of there, and Saeed got it. Great move, good pass. Finish that, Josh. Just take your time.
That'll end up out, but it'll stay with the Eagles.
Josh only a sophomore, kid out of Iona Prep, really had a good high school coach. This is a program that Ty Jerome came from, who won the national title with Virginia. Josh played with him. Big summer for Josh. Time to take the next step. Nothing wrong with where he's at now, but he's going to have to take the next step.
Here's nice Connor feeding to YY. Turnaround shot is good. YY, chalk it up for him. And he'll get a chance at a three-point play.
Great play by Connor there to just take his time drive, hand it to YY, and one.
There
See,
you
he
see
doesn't
it.
panic. YY pins him, and then he scores inside. And that's that quick move. Sometimes Gasparini, just go up quick. Don't rush, but go up quick. And before the guy can recover, and then he ends up fouling it because he's a little late.
Eagles with a 14-point lead as we approach the 4-minute mark here in the first.
Really playing good defense. Taking the same route, no switching there. Yep, good job, Marvin, staying down.
That shot is up, no good. Rebound, putback is for Jarrett. His first points of the game. A guy that averages 9 a contest is on the board for the Leopards. Saeed looking for the answer, flipping it over to Harris as Jameer now drives in traffic, goes up, counted.
Drove it left, switched back to his right hand, finished. I really like that. Some guys try to make, you got to fly to the corner on that.
Looking for the answer, O'Boyle.
I think he hit him there. I think that was the right call. He was still in the air. You got to fly sideways. I used to tell my players, windshield wiper, and I'm serious, no, just windshield wiper when you fly. If you fly at him, you're going so hard. Great play right here by Jameer.
As Harris
switches back to his right hand. For you young players, see, we don't expect you to make a left-handed layup. You drove it left back to his right hand.
Indeed, and with that, the Eagles are up 32-18. All smiles for the Eagles. As the Patriot League Indoor Track and Field Championship can be seen on Saturday, February 29th, beginning at 11 a.m. Eastern, right here on the PLN on Stadium. Dan Lang, Jimmy Patsos, Penny Commit with you from Bender Arena here in Washington, D.C. AU Eagles, Lafayette Leopards. Big night of history for the Eagles as Saeed Nelson needed 2 points to become the Eagles' all-time leading scorer and got the 2 early on. And the Eagles have a 32-18 lead. So far, so good for the Eagles. But AU had a big double-digit lead up there in Boston over the weekend and couldn't hold it.
Yeah, I'm sure that's been the back of Coach Brennan's mind that we played. Hey, it's tough when you get an early lead. We had a 20-point lead in the first half in the NCAA Final Four against Duke. But people forget it was only 11 by halftime. No, in other words, you can get the lead too early. I really liked how AU's been playing. They're flying around. I don't like fouling three-point shooters because usually when you foul them, it's not going to go in. And that's one of those things. Marvin hit him, but, he went 2 for 3, and that's okay. Marvin Bragg's playing really well for not having to play in a while.
12-point lead for the Eagles.
The Americans going to run their offense.
Here's Harris. Feeding off to the freshman Labarski, looking to find Nelson, but it'll be intercepted by Perry. Saeed staying tight on Perry, trying to go after the ball. Saeed coming off an 8-steal performance. Only D1 player this year with 2 games with at least 8 steals this season, and he's done that. Shot there is up, and it's good. 3-pointer from O'Boyle.
Is struggling right now. I'm not picking on him, but he had a turnover, and he didn't call out the switch, and freshmen should be talking more than anybody. He's had a couple turnovers with Gasparini was one of the victims that didn't get it. So Ben's got to get a little solid here. You're a freshman, I know. It's okay, but we need you down the stretch because you can shoot the ball. But here's O'Boyle. You can't leave him wide open for that. He hit the 3. Good pass by Jameer.
And Connor's shot is up. That's no good. Rebound comes down there for Stevens.
Yeah, good look. That's one of those plays you're going to write down. It was a good look. You just didn't convert.
Stevens flips it inside. Shot there counts for Jarrett. Still a 7-point lead for the Eagles. AU's seen a lead by as many as 14 points. So Coach Brennan gonna call it.
Yeah, it's 7 points, and like I said, it's I coached pretty fast. I didn't mind turnovers. Coach Brennan, turnovers are his pet peeve, and that's why when Ben turned it over, then they didn't switch on the play. Him and Jameer, they didn't communicate that well enough. Jameer set out here, Ben's a freshman, to leave O'Boyle open for the 3. That's a 5-point swing. Then they went down. Connor took a good 3. There's nothing wrong with the 3.
Well, especially O'Boyle's a guy, coming into tonight, had taken 94 3-point attempts, so it's not a guy that should be leaving open on the 3-point line. He's a guy that's taken plenty this year.
I'm not saying because I picked him as the player of the game to watch, and he's got red hair, so we should be able to find him fairly easy, right. like Anne Rand's character in The Fountainhead. Remember Work?
Yeah.
He had the red hair.
Indeed.
But I think they're up 7. There's no panic. I think Coach Brennan just wants to settle them down and say, hey, we're okay. I'm glad he put Stacy back in with 2 fouls, even though there's 2 minutes to go, because we want to go into halftime up 7 or better. In other words, that's what we're talking about. We want to go in up 7 or better, fellas. We have the ball. There's 2 minutes left. He had to use his timeout anyways, and there's a foul. That is a foul now.
So another whistle. And
not to the line yet.
With that, let's check in with Penny. Penny, what do you have?
I think they were definitely rethinking their defense in that last huddle, because in the under 4 huddle, they completely revamped what they were going to do. They actually said to move around a little bit more and not be so tight to the person you're guarding, but didn't really seem like that was working out. So I'm going to take a guess that they've kind of redid their strategy, and that's what they're going to do for the last 2 minutes. Back to you guys.
Yeah, and that's and Penny's right. You know, we're just talking about how they're getting solid here. Be nice to go in more than 7 or above is our goal. Keep our goals simple. And Stacy's probably not going to want to get a foul. A great pass.
In the corner, there's Connor's shot, no good, but the rebound comes down for YY. Big physical presence that he is as he goes up. He'll draw the contact and a chance for free throws. That's going to be called on Perry,
and I'm
the
guessing,
sophomore guard.
I'm guessing Marvin will come in here for Stacy because Stacy has 2 fouls.
Yeah, Perry with a couple.
So YY gets that, like we said, offensive rebounds for us lead to something good. Offensive rebounds for them lead to something bad. This is just, no, these are little coaching idioms you use. Nice job by YY. Stacy's got to come out because he has 2 fouls. There's a minute 28. We increased our lead from 7 to 8. Let's put it to 9. Let's get another stop. In other words, these are things for young coaches to learn. This is what you go over in the huddles. You can't make it too complicated. We're up 7. We're fine. Let's go up 9. Let's get another stop. They did that. Get Stacy out of there so he doesn't get a second foul. Fantastic effort by YY going 2 for 2 and him being dead serious. 2 for 2, both swishes.
And a guy that is 54% from the free throw line this season, so good to see him stick him there. Yeah,
Dan. That's why you do your homework. You're fantastic. Connor, pop out. Don't switch that. Jameer's on him.
Now ball movement for the Leopards. Here's O'Boyle, who's being guarded there by Saeed.
Big guys. You got to put your hand up on these big guys. Just a great job by Harris. Once again, getting over the top.
Working it now as Jarrett drives the paint. Turnaround shot, didn't get it off, so a shot clock violation. And it'll be Eagles basketball here with 56.5 to play here in the first. And there you see Fran O'Hanlon.
Yep. Now he takes frustrated. Puts Stacy back in for offense. Now Mike Brennan more guts than me, because if I went from 7 to 9, I wouldn't put a guy in afraid to foul. But we're building here. We're building the blocks easy. We got to score. We got to stop. Let's try to get another score. Patient. They've gone to the 1-3-1 again, Fran O'Hanlon.
Passing to Connor, the runner off the glass and in. Good job, Connor Nelson, as Nelson now is playing with 9 points.
And I see Coach Brennan telling Stacy, do not pick up a foul. Great job by Coach Brennan. He just pointed that out. Don't pick up a foul. So an
11-point lead right now, and about, what do we have, about 8-9 seconds difference between shot clock and game clock as the first winds down.
And they're going to go, by themselves. They're going to ISO here. E.J. Stevens is, one of their better players.
Here's Cherry as he goes to work. The big guy goes up. And there's going to be...
Would have been nice to have a foul of violation there. Now he's going to go to line 101. I'm not sure. I don't disagree with YY. I'm not sure where I really saw the contact there, but like I said, the referees have done a good job this half. It's 36-25, 11 points. It's a 1-1. It should be a 1-1 here. I'm interested to see what they call. Coach Brennan's already used his necessary timeout, so he doesn't want to use that here. It is a 1-1. Ken Clark, wonderful ref, good guy, good person. Informs both teams it's a 1-1. You want to pinch. You don't want to let them get the rebound.
Cherry's shot, no good, and the rebound secured for Harris.
And now I think Saeed should
Here's Saeed with 5 seconds as the first half winds down. The senior going to work. Turnaround fadeaway shot is good. Nice shot from Saeed Nelson to wrap up the first half. A half which sees him grab the Eagles' all-time scoring record. And he puts a stamp on it with a big exclamation point there as the Eagles have the 38-25 lead here over the Leopards.
Boy, you got to be so happy if you're Coach Brennan. Events. This is like John Wooden type stuff. He called timeout with down up 7, stopped a bad run. Got a score and a stop and a score and a stop. Another up 13. That's about as good as you could do the last 2 minutes.
Saeed's got 16 points. The Eagles are up 38-25 here at the half. We take a timeout. Halftime show rolls your way next. Welcome back here in Washington, D.C. Top Ward Circle. There you see the monuments. And here inside Bender Arena, the Eagles have the lead over the Lafayette Leopards by a count of 38-25 here at the half. And some highlights from the first half. You saw Lafayette jump out to an early lead. They had a 12-6 lead actually at one point. Then the Eagles went on a big run. Went on a 15-point run. There you see Connor Nelson with the quick hands, quick steal, and quick score. Connor Nelson had a pretty good first half, had 9 points, couple rebounds to go along with an assist and a steal. And, of course, Saeed Nelson had a good first half. There you see the big guy, Miles Cherry, knocking down a shot for Lafayette. And they're big, they're tall, but Saeed Nelson really showed that he didn't have much trouble with that at all. He had some nice shots in the first.
I've said this on my broadcast. I'm continually impressed by his play in the paint, his size, whether it's rebounding, getting shots up, realizing there's a 7-footer out there that you can't touch my, you can't get my fadeaway, but it's not a bad fadeaway, it's in rhythm fadeaway. He's just good in the paint, and that's why he has over 500 rebounds. We love his all-time scoring records, but he passes the ball. We know this. He's got 550 rebounds. I mean, that's a ton of rebounds. He's probably the only guard in the top 20 list.
Indeed. Penny had a chance to check in with the Eagles coaches at the half. Penny, what'd you find out here with the Eagles up 13?
Well, the coaches, as you would expect, are pretty happy going into the second half. They said that the crowd that you see here behind me is really giving the team a little bit of an extra spark, giving them more energy. And even though it was a little rocky, they had some down parts in the first half. They said that they would take that first half and hopefully they can repeat it and do almost exactly the same thing and come out on top. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Penny. And yeah, that's exactly what the Eagles will hope to do here tonight, something that unfortunately they couldn't do over the weekend up there in Boston. And they had a good first half, not so good in the second half, came up 4 points shy in that one. Hopefully the Eagles don't see the same thing happen here tonight. Interesting note, the Eagles, by the way, on hump day on Wednesdays, undefeated. 6-0.
That's when you and I work together.
Yeah.
Because we are, I believe, 4-1. A great visit with Andy Bonsall. Andy played with Frank Rossi, a transfer from South Florida, came here, played for Ed Tapscott and Chris Nonkey. Great career, great guy. It shows you what Saeed, he just said, I just had to come out. Big game for the Eagles. He graduated as an Eagle, but also admires what Saeed did. Andy Bonsall, for those of you that look up at people that know the history of American University basketball, very good player.
A guy that really has evolved as a player, matured and grown from his freshman year to senior year. He's never scored fewer than 5 points in any game in which he's played. Never. So, I had a couple people coming over to me going, yeah, well, you say he's going to get the record tonight. Well, he still needs a couple points. I said, he's got this. He only needs 2.
No, and he always gets 5.
That's
and
right. Right.
And the thing is it's nice when a former player like Andy Bonsall, who Frank Ross, by the way, is the second in charge of director of player personnel at the Wizards. They all keep in touch and they're talking about Saeed. So it's really a credit to Saeed. Now, you want to have a good first 4 minutes. I've said this before. That was a great 2 minutes. The last 2 minutes.
Jameer passing out to Connor. Now here's Jameer with 15 seconds. Back over to Connor. Quick ball movement, trying to find Saeed, and they find him, and he makes it count.
Another 2-pointer, another 12-footer. And I love how he, went through the paint, just right outside the paint was that shot. But a big first 4 minutes. The first 4 minutes of the half, and now you're trading baskets. That was a little high-low run there. Defensively, it's the first time I've seen them run it, so maybe we weren't ready. Neil Quinn with a nice pass from the foul line in. And it looks like it's just a straight 2-3. This is a straight matchup 2-3. And you're going to have to move the ball. Gonna probably want to get it back to the high post.
There's Gasparini with the runner.
And who got the ball on the high post? Our point guard, our leading scorer point guard with a great bounce pass to Gasparini.
And we haven't heard from Gasparini offensively since really early in the game, like maybe the first couple possessions in the game. So it's good to see him back on the offensive side of things.
Yeah, he had a couple looks that should have went. He made one lefty hook jump shot. Great play by Connor there to front the post, get over. Yeah, be careful with that, Jameer. Like I said, you're up 4-2 this half. I used to keep track of the halves. My assistants would be by 4 minutes.
Here's Jameer, long-range shot, no good.
Shot, in and out, good look. But you want to keep getting stops. And right now, if your coaching staff, when the assistants are very involved in this, how are we tracking our first 4 minutes?
The big guy puts up a shot. That's no good from Quinn. That's only his second three-point attempt this season.
For a reason.
Yeah.
That used to be the old, but coach, I was wide open. Yeah, I know the other team left you open, so you'd shoot it.
Here's Connor.
What I like against now, they've gone back to man-to-man.
Long three for him. Nope.
Nothing wrong with that three. You know, you're just going to have to take that. They went under the ball screen. When the defensive player chooses to go under the ball screen, which means he's daring you to shoot. Now, Gasparini's good. They're trying to go high-low. Connor has a tough task in there guarding the post. Saeed goes over. Yeah, you got to help the roll guy.
Cherry drives, uses the glass, and it rattles home.
Connor's got a tough matchup there. Somebody has to take the bigger guy, and he's got Miles Cherry, who's 6'8" and 240 from Australia. So when you're going to go man, you have an advantage because you're quicker, but this is a small team because Becton's at the 4. You're going to give up some size, and Frano Hamlin's going to try to exploit that with inside high lows.
Gasparini hands off Connor Nelson. Connor drives, finds Gasparini back underneath.
Really good play by Connor. You know, he missed a couple of threes. That were good looks. They were good looks, so we have no problem as a coaching staff with that. But decides I'll drive it. They help up, and there goes Gasparini with another 2. And as you said, Dan, you want to get Gasparini going.
Mm-hmm. Shot there from Boyle, but Boyle no good. 44-29, Eagles have the lead. If AU wins, they clinch a top 3 spot in the Patriot League standings going into the tournament, and they clinch a home quarterfinal game. Colgate has clinched the regular season title in the Patriot League as Jameer Harris unloads a long-range shot and nails it.
That guy must have something in his locker because he comes out in the second half always ready to go. I love it. He, you know, patient. He knew he should have hit his last one. Now they switch on defense there. Good pass. Nothing can do to stop that. Really good pass by E.J. Stevens, who's kind of a scorer. It's all Boyle, but Jameer comes out. Once again, if they're going to go under the screen and dare me to shoot, and they kind of got stuck on the screen, just pulls and hits the 3.
Here's Gasparini, hands off Nelson, Connor.
Yeah, you don't want to force that. And like I said, the reason I said is the last game we did against Navy, Jameer just took over. There's Stacy. I like that. Take him off the bounce, Stacy. He can't guard you. See, he drives it left, goes back to his right, and there will be a foul. But Harris had 4 threes in the second half to make sure that Navy didn't win.
And that's going to bring us to a break. And there you see Gasparini getting his thing going here in the second half. He's already got 4 points here in this half alone. Eagles up 16 on the Leopards. Back here inside Bender Arena. Want to remind you, you're watching today's game on the Patriot League Network on Stadium. For the latest Patriot League news information, be sure and follow the official league account on Twitter at Patriot League. 47-31, Eagles lead the Leopards, 15-59 to play here in this one. Dan Lang, Jimmy Patsos, Penny Commit with you from D.C. Bender Arena on the campus of AU. Saeed Nelson, the senior, feeding out to Stacey Becton, who drives. Doesn't have the touch, but does draw the foul.
Oh, there's Stacy. Yeah, see, he's realized, okay, you know, it takes a little while. You start seeing guys bigger than you, and guys are quicker in the first half. I mean, guys are rested. Not now. Stacy's just going to go blow by O'Boyle, and he gets 2 shots there. And, oh, it takes you a little while to adjust, and guys get, you know, they're really fresh at the beginning, and they're listening to the scout. And Stacy realizes he has a great matchup, goes to the line. I'd like to see him make the second here. Just give us a point. We'll take one at a time. Inch by inch, life's a cinch.
And Penny, what are you finding out over in the huddle?
Over in the huddle, the focus was adjustments. Coach Brennan said that the other team has made adjustments, so now it's time for us to make adjustments to how they're playing and the best way to win. I think the overall consensus is that they're going to try to be a little bit more aggressive in the post and even foul if they find it necessary. Back to you, Dan.
All right, thanks, Penny, and yeah, we'll see how that works down the stretch. There you see Coach Brennan.
And what they did was they tried to post up some guys and go high-low, and like you said, now they back off, and they dare Neil Quinn to make shots, and Connor Nelson in front of the post. So these are adjustments that are made in timeouts and in halftime. But I like that AU's really running its offense, but you don't want to get too patient. You want to still be aggressive. You know, you don't want to be careless, but you want to be aggressive.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Saeed drives, puts up the shot, make it count.
So good in there. So good from 3 and 5 feet, which is really a skill for a 6'1" player.
20 points or more in each of his last 6 games.
Okay, they're gonna, you know, don't go over the top. Goes over the top, Harris, so therefore you don't have to, that's a tough runner. Oh. And I refrain from comment.
But you can comment on this play here from
he's
Saeed.
He's so good from 3 and 5 feet. I mean, he's for a guy his size. He jumps up, goes to his right. I thought that was a really good defensive stance by the defensive sequence by the American University Eagles. And Dwayne Gladden, veteran official, he's done ACC. He's explaining to the table that he saw a little hand in the back as the guy, and it was a floater, so maybe, you know, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Stevens, an 85% free throw shooter, the junior from Plantation, Florida, down there in South Florida, is at the free throw line.
Close
Sticks
to your
both of them.
alma mater, Miami.
Indeed, the U. Yeah.
And so here you go. It's 49-33, 16 points. You want to stay. You want to be patient, but you want to be aggressive. You know, you want to be.
Which is a nice balance, a tough balance.
Yeah, it's the old Morgan Wooten. We want to be quick, but don't hurry. You know.
Right. Here's Harris, Jameer passing off. And we'll see who that's going to stay with AU.
Ken Clark, great call. Jameer, I thought he might have had the layup there.
Speaking of Morgan Wooten, DeMatha, by the way, won the WCAC, which was here in Bender Arena.
Yes, full house. I was here Sunday for the doubleheader. Gonzaga, Paul VI, and then DeMatha beat St. John's, and then the McNamara girls won it. And then DeMatha, Mike Jones, 20. He's just been unbelievable there.
Saeed Nelson's been unbelievable tonight.
Saeed Nelson's just doing his work around the basket. It's funny because if they go too close to him, he'll shoot the three if you give him room, but he's not.
Quick pass there underneath. Nice move there as Jarrett's able to get his first points of the second half.
Yeah, lack of communication there. And, you know, Neil Quinn continues as a freshman. Like you said, he's doing his Bill Lambier imitation instead of being a big guy that will pass. He'll take a jump shot. He does a little of everything, but clearly there to do the dirty work. But what a great pass from the high post.
Here's Saeed from the elbow, puts up the shot as he fades away. 24 points for the senior.
Mike Brennan trying to get him matched up here. Wow, you got to front the post.
And there you see Saeed grab it away, takes it the other way, goes up. The putback for Becton, no good.
Yeah, Stacy, I love him. Feel for him. He missed 2 free throws and he missed a layup. That's just one of those nights where you just got to keep fighting through. You can't take it personally. Clearly not doing anything. There's no reason to get upset about it, other than he's a better player than that. You know, he missed 2 free throws and missed a layup for a guy who's, other than Saeed, to me, probably been their MVP, the second most consistent, most important player this year besides Saeed. To me, has been Stacey Becton.
There you see Stacy, number 2. He's really matured a lot. You're right. The different parts of his game, the confidence level. We've seen him post some double doubles.
They've asked him to play the 4, and a lot of guys will pout, not want to play the 4. Why do I got to play the 4? I got to take the ball out. I got to guard a bigger guy. When can I shoot my 3? Now he's playing point forward. I've never seen him change demeanor. He's been nothing but great about it, and he's handled the responsibility on the court in terms of rebounding. We were here when he got 12 rebounds. He's had 20 points. He'll take you off the bounce. He'll do a little of everything. And tonight he's just struggling a little bit, but that's not indicative of his season, because I think he's had a fantastic year.
53-35. O'Boyle.
Push off, and the referee got that right.
Yep. And you can see Fran O'Hanlon there at the top of your screen. The frustration that he has.
But you know what? I thought it was the right call. And like I said, I've had Ken Clark and Dwayne Gladden 50 times in my career. Really good people, really good referees. Both military men, by the way. And Dwayne Gladden wasn't fooled. O'Boyle pushed off a little. Fran couldn't see it from the sideline. Right on the offense, the high post, modified Princeton. This is modified Princeton.
There's Becton. He'll put up the 3. It hits the 3. See? So you keep going with him and going with him, and he finally comes through.
He was too close on the layup and the free throws. He needed to be further away.
Looking for the answer, and it does from Cherry. Cherry now with 10 points, so he's right at his per-game average coming into this evening. Coming off a game which he almost had a double-double, had 17 points, 10 rebounds, and their loss to Loyola Maryland.
It's good for Marvin there, passing up the 3 and taking the good 2. Passing up the 3-pointer, taking the 2.
Here's O'Boyle putting it on the deck. Now fast pass to Cherry.
American U with the big screen. 2002, we lost in the ACC before we went to the national championship. NC State and Herb Sendek had, I think, Josh Powell and Melvin, I forget his name. They had when you're 4 and 5s are running the screen and roll, big guys, they're not used to switching with each other. Yes, they can trap with a guard. They can have them go under. Saeed will tell them what to do. The big-on-big screen is causing American problems. And there you have it. And that's why that's why Miles Cherry got wide open for a 3. Now he's making a free throw. The big on big screen is causing American problems. Now, it usually only leads to 2s, not 3s. But somehow you have to communicate that. And it would be my opinion, just switch it. Just switch it every time. You two bigs, your friends, bigs hang out, bigs work out together. Just switch it.
So we'll see if the Eagles are able to do that. It's an 18-point edge for AU as Cherry hits both ends of his free throws. Connor flipping it over to Bragg. Now here's Jameer. Just under 12 minutes to play here in D.C. Tipped away, but Harris is right there to grab it back. Knocked away there by Jarrett. And it'll be Stevens taking it the other way and putting it up and in.
Yeah, that was a good block. You gotta give credit where credit's due. Lucas Jarrett just came over and blocked that. There's not a lot you can do in that one. The unfortunate thing is it led to a fast break layup. So there was a 4-point swing in 30 seconds. I like that too.
And
that's why it goes in.
Nelson's going to stop it.
Going left, pull up on balance. Going right to the
26 for Saeed here tonight.
American use trading baskets a little here. And when you're up 18, that's okay. But it would be nice to get a couple of stops. Steal that. There you go. Good hustle, Connor. In other words, when you're up 18 and you're trading baskets, clock's ticking, that's okay.
So we go to a break with 11:16 left to play in the game. The Eagles up 60-42. Welcome back here inside Bender Arena, where the Eagles are up 60-42. A win for the Eagles tonight seals them a top 3 spot in the Patriot League standings entering the tournament and will guarantee a quarterfinal home game. So a couple things for the Eagles to play for here with 11:16 to play and up 18.
Yeah, and if you look at the box score, everything's going about expected except Lucas Jarrett and Miles Cherry. Miles Cherry and Lucas Garrett, 2 senior big men for Lafayette, have combined for 18 off the bench. I don't think anybody on the AU staff or Coach Brennan was prepared for that.
Going up there's Jarrett. Good job of him showing patience, going up between a couple Eagles and netting the bucket.
Older guy, you know, he's been around. Lucas Jarrett, senior.
Yep, from North Point, New York.
Just wants to score it there. So now they have 20 points. The 2 senior bigs off the bench have 20 points for Lafayette, and that's pretty much keeping in the game. Otherwise, it would be a blowout.
Connor Nelson lost a handle on it, but then was able to stick to it and grab the ball. Now here's Josh Alexander, 5 seconds on the clock.
Yes, that's the right
stay
call.
With AU with 5 ticks.
Now, this is where I don't mind a quick shot, but make sure we get back on defense. No matter what the shot is, let's get back on defense.
So here's Jameer Harris to get it in. Harris quickly gets it in to Nelson.
Nice.
Now here's Saeed looking for a quick pass as that ends up out.
He need a lob play to the rim here.
So they're going to say, what, there's 1 second.
The other night. You've seen Hall beat Butler the other night with 1 second on the clock with a lob play. You have to run everybody to the corner, shooter, backdoor lob.
So let's see how this goes as Nelson gets it into Saeed. Quick shot up, blocked, and that's going to be a shot clock violation.
That's the problem with giving it to the shooters. They're ready for that. You got to be patient and let Nelson come off and Harris come off, then throw it to the big and hope you can get a tip in.
Stout feeds off from the elbow. Shot is up. That's no good.
Would have liked that rebound. Really good defense. That's the old unforced error. That's like tennis when you double fault. In other words, they had the rebound. Nobody was around them. They were going to go lead the break, and it went off, I believe, Saeed's hand, which, you know, is fine since he has 26 and Superman. But that's the old kind of unforced error that we don't like to commit. Hand up at the catch.
Shot is up. That's no good, and the rebound is there for Bragg.
Let's run the offense and get under 10. Okay, I'm a big clock guy. You want to get under 10, run the offense here. What do we learn in Falcons Patriots Super Bowl? You can use the clock effectively.
Quick pass there for Connor underneath. Nice runner there for the sophomore. His first points, by the way, here in the second half.
He's had an outstanding year from Denver. A guy that, you know, an academic kid that went to junior college because he didn't get to play enough in high school. You know, didn't get the exposure. Oh, I don't like the reach. There's Jarrett.
And that shot is up, and it's good for Jarrett.
22 points. Yeah, just make him take a jump hook. Don't go for the steal. But Connor's had a fantastic game. I remember coming to practice early in year with
He was on no one's radar out of high school.
no one's radar in high school.
As far as D1 goes.
Denver's not a huge
Right,
place for a
but
lot
still.
of players. Goes to Wyoming to junior college. I can only imagine what that's like. I mean, I'm sure it's fine, but I don't think it's exactly Spring Valley here in Washington, D.C. Plays his butt off, gets noticed, has a good postseason for junior college.
Shot is up here, and that's no good.
See, the inside game's starting to hurt us. Now you're trading twos, inside-out offense. Jared's gonna have
Three-pointers
three.
good there for Jared.
Offensive rebounds lead to bad, so they're not giving up. It's 62-49. That's a rebound that we don't get. American doesn't get that leads to a three for Lucas Jared, who's having kind of a senior going away party, but not as if I'm not going away. Lucas Jared has 13 points right now.
So the Eagles call the timeout with 8:45 to play. We'll take it as well. 62-49. Eagles lead the Leopards on the PLN on Stadium. Welcome back inside Bender Arena. There you see Saeed Nelson's family. Nice to see them here in attendance tonight. Saeed needed 2 points to become the Eagles' all-time leading scorer. Got it early and has led the game big time as far as scoring goes. 26 points for Saeed, 13 of 17 from the field here tonight. Also has 3 rebounds, an assist, couple steals. So he's been doing his normal thing. A little bit of everything.
Sure, and there's people that say, well, what's it going to be like next year without Saeed? It's Lou Holtz. What's win? What's important now? Lou Holtz,
Well, that's what
what's
everyone was saying
important
when
now?
Pee Wee Gardner was here, the point guard before Saeed, was like, oh my goodness, Pee Wee's leaving. Now what's going to happen? Saeed comes in, and Saeed was heralded. Saeed was well known and a guy that they had a lot of confidence in as Connor drives, puts up the shot, and
As we were talking
gets
about,
it.
what a great strides he's made. Not just a three-point shooter, running offense, hustles on D. Now Marvin, you got to stay down on him. So you got to get, now they switched that. They switched that, and there's where Marvin's good because he's got length on the shooters. Now Saeed's got a big man on the post.
quick fire to Cherry, but it's off his fingertips.
Here we want to run the offense.
Connor
Connor's gonna run the
able to
offense.
spin around Stevens. 8
Great.
minutes to play in this one. Eagles up 64-49, looking for more as Connor looks for a friendly.
Nice.
Hard pass underneath to Becton, who gets the bucket and draws the foul.
Connor Nelson, what a great one-handed pass. Stacy, who's hit a three, makes his layup in air one. Marvin Bragg, really good back there in that defensive sequence, by the way. Gets the give and go. Shot fake drive, one hand. Stacy was going to dunk it.
And that
Stay
takes
up
us
and
to a
one.
break. 66-49, Eagles lead. Eagles have the 66-49 lead over the Leopards. Penny's been patrolling the sidelines. What's the latest?
Well, it was a pretty humbling last huddle as Coach Bennett reminded the guys, you know, they've fallen apart in the last few minutes during games before. And the Eagles were starting to get a little sloppy, but as you can see by the last couple plays, it looks like they're tightening things up and just being smart and strategic the rest of the game is going to be how they're going to finish it out. Back to you, Dan.
All right, thanks, Penny. And that is going to be key for AU here down
why
the stretch. Nice
finishing the
three-point play there for Stacy.
Yeah,
by the way.
finishing helps, and Penny's right. You have to mention that you haven't always closed games. You can't focus on it.
Sure.
Though. And that's where, to me, Connor's given him, you know, clearly you have Jameer, who's in a transfer year. By the way, don't forget, Jameer Harris has 2 more years. He sat out a year, which is, you get a little rust off. It's a big 2 years for him. Saeed's fantastic. Stacey Becton's done what he's supposed to do, plus some.
So you were
But
saying what's going to
Connor
happen
is
when
be the other
Saeed
guy.
leaves? You see Connor's going to step up. You see Jameer is going to step up.
Bunyasith will be back, healthy, we hope. And there's you know, that's why you recruit. That's why assistants' jobs are never done, because they're constantly recruiting. Good fly by Marvin there, and doesn't foul. Yeah, he pushed him. Yeah, Saeed pushed him. Well, and my whole point about that was what Penny was saying is that's where Connor gives you that fourth ball handler. He's not small. He's a big guard, so he can rebound. He can make threes, but he can make passes. He scores inside. He's been such a find for them, especially as you said, Dan, that let's face it, going into the season, he wasn't mentioned very much. And that's when coaching's fun. You not only find guys as assistants and head coach recruiting, then you make them better.
A diamond in the rough, so to speak.
Yeah, you got to polish that diamond. It doesn't just happen. Okay, they're switching that. Josh called it. Now they got back. Marvin with his hand up. Great job.
And that's short, but Cherry underneath is going to be forced with the travel.
Those are the tough
So he
ones
coughs
to
it up.
get. You know, those short rebounds. The old Derek Wittenberg's air ball to Lorenzo Charles. everyone turns your head. It's good they didn't panic and travel, but those are hard to rebound. Air balls are hard to rebound.
There you see Fran O'Hanlon, arms crossed, not too pleased.
You're down 18, and with American U running a modified Princeton, which means you can take all 30 seconds and still get a decent shot. They got Saeed in the corner. Josh is running a little handoff. Marvin, who's played very under control, which I admire. Don't come in and try to do too much.
Saeed feeds in to Becton. Stacy whips it out to Bragg. Here's Bragg. 5 seconds on the shot clock to Connor. He'll unload a three and hits the three, burying it from long range. Connor with his second made tray.
Connor's making me look smart there. And like I said, ran down the clock and does a little of everything and then hits the three.
A lot of the guys make you look smart. Stacy makes you look smart.
Yeah, they do today, but Nev, don't foul him.
That shot is no good.
Top. I don't know why.
Tipped up, rebound.
Yeah, way to go, Josh. Don't foul.
But underneath his cherry, he's going to draw the foul.
And Saeed, who's done it all, points out that the ball hit the top of the ref. I mean, top of the backboard, which I saw, but somehow the three referees didn't see, but that happens. But Saeed's pointing and saying, didn't that hit the top?
And that's what Coach Brennan is pointing out as well.
A lot of action under the paint. Sometimes referees are focused on who's boxing out or whether you're fouling the shooter. So that's an easy one to miss.
They're saying it didn't go over. Coach Brennan continuing to bark a little bit. So Cherry at the free throw line.
He misses. And by the way, Cherry and Jarrett, both seniors. They're combined right now for 25 points. Really great effort. That's what seniors do. They're not just going to go down without a fight. Reminds you that Lafayette off to a blazing start. They were the talk of the Patriot League. Jaworski rumored for player of the year.
Yep.
Jaws gets hurt. He's a scoring point guard. He's similar to Saeed. I don't think he's quite as good as Saeed around the basket. But he
and also you have a guy in Alex Petrie, who was the Patriot League Rookie of the Year a couple of years ago, hasn't even played this year.
He hasn't played this year.
No.
You give me a stat about Fran O'Hanlon.
Okay, so Franio is a guy we mentioned, 25 years up there at Lafayette College. Only 5 head coaches have led the same D1 program since 95-96. Want to take a little bit of a guess?
Well, okay, Boeheim.
Yeah, Jim Boeheim at Syracuse, Coach K at Duke, Bob McKillop at Davidson, and Tom Izzo at Michigan State, along with Franio.
And I just got to meet, what a great job Bob McKillop does at Davidson with the, and then what an animal, would have been a great one. Bob McKillop, who's taken an academic school, switched from the Southern Conference to the A-10, which is a real adjustment. Coach Steph Curry, one of our Under Armour guys. I happen to know Bob McKillop. What a class act. Really good teacher. But I forgot about his. I knew Kay and Boeheim right away. So that's the hard one to get, would be Bob McKillop in that trip. What great trivia. Him and Fran O'Hanlon. You get some free shots of whiskey at the bar, my friend, with that trivia.
Yeah, I thought that one was a tasty nugget,
I love that, Dan. Way to do your homework. So that's Fran O'Hanlon, Bob McKillop, Jim Boeheim, Tom Izzo, and Mike Krzyzewski. Yeah, we're using that in Atlanta at the Final Four.
Not a bad group to be named with. And Franio, by the way, has racked up 341 wins at Lafayette College.
Not to bring Gary Williams up. Gary Williams was the assistant to Tom Davis at Lafayette. That's when the Trapuka brothers, everybody except Kelly Trapuka, played at Lafayette. So Lafayette, good storied program. Tom Davis was there. Gary Williams was the assistant. Then Gary got the job here at American University.
Whistle and Jared.
And the illustrious coaches that have coached here, also Jimmy Lynham, who does all the work for the Sixers, coached here. Tom Young, who took Rutgers to the Final Four, coached here. Joe Boylan, who was the AD at Loyola, and that is the voice there of the Rutgers program. American U, what a tremendous basketball history. And we're watching the guy, the leading scorer, Saeed Nelson.
As you see Saeed toward the back of your screen there on the left with 0 on his back, and he's done anything but 0 as far as scoring goes throughout his career here.
Yeah, by the way, he only has 1 foul. He never seems to get in foul trouble.
The latest, by the way, was just whistled on Becton, so Stacy now has 3 here tonight. So Dylan Hastings will come in for Lafayette in place of Luke Jarrett. The senior steps out. The junior steps in. Eagles up 72-51 on the Leopards. Just under 6 minutes to play here in D.C. Becton in some trouble.
Yeah, it's trouble there. They luckily got fouled.
Gotta
Tough
call
place
that
to
on
pick up
Perry.
the ball. The 1-3-1 they just extend. Now it's 1-on-1, which is great. Got to either go deep corner, but someone's going to flash to the foul line. That's what he was trying to step through, but nobody flashed up quick enough.
Boyle in, Becton at the free throw line. Josh Alexander being tutored a bit by Coach Brennan, just out of your shot, as Becton is able to make good on that one. Stacey, a guy that we've talked about with all the tools that he possesses, and Stacey a junior, so he still has some growth.
Oh, no, yeah, you're looking at big summer for Josh. Stacey just stay on the path that you're on. Connor's been a great surprise. Jameer Harris is good. Bunya's just coming back. Ben Lebarski's a fantastic player for a freshman. I love his size. He's a different kind of guy, kind of fullback. Ben's had good games. Going to go up and down as a freshman, but he'll be much better as a sophomore. The future's very bright.
Jared hit that three, pulling Lafayette to within 20 here at AU.
But unfortunately, I'm not worried about the future. I want to win the Patriot League.
Exactly. Got to concentrate on the here and now, which is what Saeed Nelson's doing, the senior, with the ball as he drives, uses the glass, nets the deuce.
He goes right, he's going to go to the basket. When he goes right, you got to stop him from getting all the way to the basket. You can't let him get up. He's too good around the basket going right.
He's got 30 points. Saeed's got 30 points here tonight.
30 points. Going right to the basket, going left, pulling up. Nice Connor close. Stacey, good help. Fly at the shooter.
There's O'Boyle, puts it up, no good. Cherry off his fingertips along with Alexander. Cherry will control.
It's the one little albatross that we've seen this year is offensive rebounds, and that's why that went in. That went in. Jameer Harris played as good as defense as you can get. I would say to my team, the basketball guard said we didn't get the shot, the rebound. That offensive rebound turned into three. Jameer did a great job defensively. Nothing we could do.
Perry, by the way, his first points in the second half. Saeed's career high in points, in case you were wondering, 41 against Lafayette, against the Leopards. That's going to be a travel call. That came on February 27th of 2018 up there at Lafayette.
Yep, so you're probably sure he remembers that. He sees the maroon. Maroon makes him think 41. And that's what Josh really big at. Just take your time and come up with one go-to move. This isn't the NBA where they scout that heavy. In other words, just come up with one, whether it's a face-up, maybe don't post, maybe don't jump hook. Face-up 8-footer. Just take your time a little bit because he does a lot of good things. Very bright kid, but come up with one move this offseason. That's tough right there.
Here's Perry's shot. That's no good, and the rebound comes for YY.
Once again, with 4 minutes to go, there's only so much you can do, so they're going to run their offense. Love Stacey at the point forward.
So he's getting some practice in that regard as Becton looks to hand off, does so to Saeed. Nelson, quick pass over to Jameer. Harris unloads a three, no good, and the rebound is there for Cherry.
Really good shot off the catch, nothing you can do, nothing bad there. Great hustle by YY from behind. Love when big guys get the ball from behind. Didn't give up on the play. Came from behind, knocked it loose.
And YY doesn't necessarily have the most speed out there on the floor, but there was able to hustle after it and get the ball. Yep.
Great hustle, great hustle play that doesn't show up in the stat sheet.
YY hands off. Here's Saeed. There's a call away. And it looks like that's going to go on YY.
In defense of YY, I think he thought that Saeed was going to shoot that.
Yeah.
So he was going to roll to the basket. Then they thought it was a moving screen. In other words, if Saeed shoots that, YY just rolls to the basket for the rebound.
So we take a break with 3:05 to play here in D.C. Eagles in control over the Leopards, 76-57. Want to remind you throughout the remainder of the season and throughout the playoffs on AUEagles.com and via AU Men's Basketball Facebook and Twitter pages. Tune into AU Hoop Talk with Coach Brennan, presented by Launchbox Golf, for special guests and the inside scoop on the team. This week's guest will be, shocker, Saeed. He'll be coming by to talk about the record, his career here at AU, as there's a whistle. Saeed tonight with 30 points. That is a season high. Previous season high was 28, February 15th against Bucknell, against the Bison up there at Bucknell. Mentioned that his career high is 41 points, but he's locked in. He's been locked in here down the stretch. This is his 6th consecutive game with 20 or more points.
Yeah, and he's scoring them twos. He's getting him a lot of twos.
Yeah.
This is without taking any threes. I don't think he's made a three.
No.
And what I like is he's taking one. He's not worried about that next level or trying to show people I can shoot the three. No, I'm gonna do what helps to win, but I'm gonna do what I'm good at. Driving left, pull up, driving right to the basket, and then on balanced around the foul line. When they tried to go zone, he snuck right into the foul line, made great passes, and shot the ball well. Really a tremendous player.
76-59, Eagles lead the Leopards. Just under 3 minutes to play here in D.C. A win for the Eagles seals up a top 3 spot in the Patriot League, entering the conference tournament, and seals up a quarterfinal home game. Loose ball, that'll end up out.
I like Connor said it was his fault. Gotta get lower.
Yeah, he's a guy that's cool saying my bad. Some guys aren't that way.
He's just ball fake high, go low, or ball fake low, go high. You can't ball fake high and then still throw high. That's what you try to do against the 1-3-1 there. But it's fine, it's 76-59, so you're fine. But now you don't want to foul. Ooh, nice off his leg. Good play by Connor to recover there.
Saeed bringing the ball up the floor.
So you got to get low against the trap. Got to get low against the trap. Standing too straight up against the trap. Got to get low. Ball fake and get low against the trap. Low and elbows out. So if anybody gets too close to you, they won't stay close when they see the elbow.
Right.
Not inadvertently, just showing them. But you got to get low against the trap.
Ends up out. It'll be Eagles ball. There you see YY, what a good story he's been. Has grad degrees in marketing and sports management. Got a couple years added to his eligibility because of a medical red shirt from 2014 through 17 because of cardiomyopathy. Played in 13 games as a freshman. And was just stuck with him.
Now he's married, correct?
Yep. Married to one of the volleyball coaches here at AU, Sarah Katz.
See, there's Stacy faking high, going low, faking low, going high. That's why his passes aren't getting tipped.
Here's Stacy.
Yep, exactly.
Beckton over in the corner, able to dip it off to YY. Here's Jameer. Long three. It's up and it's good. Really Jameer Harris's third made three of the night.
Like I said, second half monster. Love him off the catch. He's going to have to learn to take some off the bounce, but taking it off the catch, his percentages really increase when he takes the three-point shot off the catch, not off the dribble.
Push call there.
Yeah, I just want to get out of here. Don't want to foul too much. They're up 20. I'm sure he's going to take.
You just want to get out of here? Why?
I don't want to get out of here, but I want the players to get out. I don't like stopping the clock. No, we're up 20. Last thing we want to do is stop the clock.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to call Shanahan and tell him that we're going over the stop the use of the clock down the stretch.
Right.
I'm just kidding. But down the stretch, if they're going to score at 2 and the clock keeps running, because it also gets a chance for Lafayette to set up the press.
Shot is up, no good there. Tipped around, loose ball, and Connor Nelson will secure it for AU.
Mr. Dirty Work, just does a little of everything, but can really score.
Now here's Saeed as he brings it up the floor. Able to pass away. Now Beckton feeds back out. Connor looking to create some space.
Yep, so he's got to get
That's
lower.
Got to
get lower against that trap. They get really low.
Wholesale changes for the Leopards. Eagles will wrap up the regular season at Holy Cross on Saturday. So Saeed is going to step out and get the standing ovation. The hugs from his teammates. There you see the standing ovation from the crowd. Well deserved, as he's the all-time scorer atop the board here at AU, breaking a 39-year mark. Stacey Beckton gonna step out. Christian Sutton is into the lineup. His mom is in attendance here tonight.
Christian Sutton,
he was excited to see that.
What's his social life like? He just got a huge applause. I love it.
Christian Sutton has the ball right now. Now back over to Jameer as we approach the 1 minute mark. Right back over to Sutton. Christian thought about shooting, instead feeds off with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Now here's Jesse Little. Across now Connor Nelson. Jesse Little, quick ball movement. Here's Sutton, puts up the shot, and that's going to be a shot clock violation. There you see Christian, big smile on his face, getting some minutes here. The sophomore out of Atlanta, Georgia.
His father's just a tremendous person. Every time I get to see him.
Oh, he's great. Talk about energy, and he's always happy. Loves basketball. So wholesale changes for the Eagles and the Leopards in this 20-point game here with less than a minute to go.
Jacob's still hurt, but a chance he can come back in.
And it's nice to see everyone getting some minutes.
Good steal by Marvin. Continues to do all the little things. Really impressed. Marvin Bragg gave them 18 minutes tonight to the Eagles. All good minutes. I mean, we don't want to foul a three-point shooter. Shoot that
Here's
one.
Sutton, puts it up, and ooh, off the rim. And the rebound for Hastings.
Would have been chaos mixed with anarchy if that had gone in.
Quick movement over. That shot is up, long two.
That's game. 79-59.
And so here's Lebarski as he brings it down the floor and flips it over to Little.
Shots. Nope.
So that should be how tonight's game ends. What an important game for the Eagles tonight. History made here in D.C. Saeed Nelson, the Eagles' all-time leading scorer. As he passes Boo Bowers, the Eagles get the win tonight, 79-59, and with that clinch at least a top 3 finish in the Patriot League standings going into the tournament and clinch a quarterfinal home game. So lots of positives tonight for the Eagles and lots of smiles for AU. There you see Saeed getting some handshakes and some smiles from his opponents and his teammates.
Of course, after those 4 years, you know the other players respect all he's done.
Indeed, and Penny is looking to gather both Coach Brennan and Saeed Nelson. She has done so, so let's throw things over to Penny. Penny?
Guys, I'm here with Saeed Nelson and Coach Brennan. Brennan, I have to ask, what has it been like to coach such a legendary player and just to watch him grow throughout his career?
Yeah, no, Saeed's been terrific. I mean, as good as a player he is, what separates him is the type of kid he is. So, I mean, great, you know, his parents did a great job with him, and we're just the beneficiaries of it here.
And Saeed, you not only broke the record, you had one of your best games yet, and you did it in front of all your family and friends. You got a standing ovation. Walk me through what that meant to you.
It meant a lot. I mean, it's a great feeling, you know, but at the end of the day, from the start of the game, we're just trying to get a win. You know, we secured 3rd place today, and that's all that matters.
Thanks, guys. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Penny. So cool words there from Coach Brennan and from Saeed Nelson here tonight, really putting things in perspective as the Eagles grab the victory here tonight over the Leopards, 79-59. Jimmy and I are back in a second to put a wrap up. At Washington, D.C., as the Eagles here tonight, just a few miles from the Capitol. Nice shot there of the Capitol. Nice game tonight for the Eagles as AU is able to pick up the W over the Lafayette Leopards. 20-point win for AU, and it's 79-59. Big win, as you heard Saeed point out, as the fact that they're able to clinch a top 3 in the Patriot League standings going into the tournament, and they're able to clinch a quarterfinal home game. And oh, he's the all-time leading scorer.
Yeah, he's the all-time leading scorer, but he wanted to win tonight.
He did. He did
really well. I thought Marvin Bragg gave him some really good minutes, 17 minutes. By the way, he was only a junior, Marvin. Lafayette had 30 points from their seniors off the bench, and you survived that. In other words, you look at the box score and say we survived 30 points from Lafayette's bench. We held certain guys in check, but most importantly was what we did well. Connor Nelson did a lot of things well. Stacy got it going. Jameer Harris, second half threes off the catch, going over the top of the screen. American U's doing a lot of things right, and that's why you beat Frano Hanlon Lafayette by 20 points at home. 3rd place by home game. You get to see me again one more time.
I know. Well, what's better than that? Not much, right? When you look at our
huge win, but I thought Saeed's demeanor was really good. He never changed. It wasn't like all emotional or the play. He wanted to win. Laser focus.
Indeed, and that's why he's our Eagles Club player of the game. Laser focus on his game, on the game as a whole tonight, and that's why Saeed able to get it done and able to, you know, we saw him shoot the J from the elbow. We saw him drive the paint a little bit. We saw him come up with a couple huge steals, and there you see the big shot that helped or did give him the scoring record here at AU.
And like a true pro, he got that out of the way early. Yeah. It was almost like, fellas, I'll get this out of the way so we can focus on the win. I did want to kind of point out to Coach Brennan, Frano Hamlin and Lafayette got some momentum going. They cut it to 7. There was a couple of bad plays, fouled the three-point shoot, a little mistakes we make. The last 2 minutes, Coach Brennan called timeout. His last 2 minutes were perfection. Score, stop, miss free throw. Saeed hits the fadeaway jump shot to make it 13 going into the half. Masterfully played by coach and player. Saeed played really well the last 2 minutes. Coach Brennan called timeout. They executed well. They got stops on defense. And I thought that, you know, from a tactician's standpoint, was the best execution from the coaching staff. And then came out in the second half and just pulled the game away.
And there you see the stats for the two teams tonight. One stat that's not on there, turnovers. Lafayette came into tonight, and the Leopards were averaging 12 turnovers a game. Tonight they turned it over 18 times, and the Eagles were able to take advantage of that. And you see the Eagles shooting almost 60% on the night. And Lafayette, you figured that they would lead in the rebounding department. They're a taller crew. They're a little bit bigger, so they were able to do it there. Eagles able to spread the wealth around, as AU tonight had 4 players in double digits, but led by Saeed Nelson with a season-best 30 points and 11 points away from his career best, which was 41 against the Leopards a couple years ago up there. But nonetheless, a very good game tonight for the Eagles as they now enter the final game of their regular season up at Holy Cross in Worcester, Mass on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, and Holy Cross has been feisty. I saw them to start the season against Maryland. It's one of those games you don't want to look past them. You want to keep playing well, go up there, get a road win, come back and prepare for Thursday. Take an extra day, a couple Tuesdays off. But really good effort. Saeed had 30, but he didn't need to score 41 because Connor Nelson scored. Stacy did some different things. Stacy Beckton, by the way, playing the point. But Connor Nelson, you and I have been talking about, what a find from the beginning. What a great job by the entire coaching staff. Don't really know who he is, to probably the unsung hero. Stacy Beckton's the second MVP. This is Saeed's team. Jameer Harris has really come into his own shooting the ball, especially after catch. Different big men, YY's emergence. But Connor Nelson, hats off to him for what he's done for this team.
Indeed, he's done a lot, and that's a big reason why the Eagles are sitting where they are this season, because of what Connor's been able to do. If you're Coach Brennan, what are you saying leading into that game against the Crusaders? Anything in particular? I mean,
no, just last time we were on the road, we lost. Hey, the American University has done a great job this year of being and battling in games, but we want to go and prove we're going to win on the road, because we're probably going to have to go to Hamilton to win on the road. We may have to go to Boston U, where we had a big lead, but don't worry, we fought. We only lost by 4. There's been some tough losses on the road. This is a chance to get a road win. You want to gain momentum. Fellas, all road wins are good.
Yeah.
I never had a bad bus ride or plane ride home after a road win. I don't care who we played. Road wins are special. So take the road win, get the rest, and find out who you play. But great job tonight. Be happy with the effort tonight from the whole team.
Yep, and so the Eagles do get the win, and that'll do it for our broadcast here from American University here in Washington, D.C. The Eagles do pick up the W tonight by 20 points, 79-59. I want to remind you, with tonight's win, AU's clinched a 2 or 3 seed in the upcoming Patriot League tournaments, and will host a quarterfinal game next Thursday, March 5th at 7 o'clock here inside Bender Arena. I want to remind you the tickets for the game on sale aboard aueagles.com/tickets. I want to remind you the next women's home game is this Saturday, February 29th at 2 o'clock against Holy Cross on Senior Day. You can purchase tickets to that one also on aueagles.com/tickets. For more live Patriot League broadcast features and information, go to watchstadium.com. This has been an exclusive presentation of the Patriot League Network on Stadium from American University. For our broadcast partners Jimmy Patsos and Penny Commit, I'm Dan Lang saying good night from Bender Arena. Again, history made. Saeed Nelson now atop the scoring leaders here at AU, and the Eagles in the win column, 79-59. Have a good night, everybody.